David Knight of Knights Budgens, welcome to Sea Talk.
Thanks, Paul. Good to be here.
Very good. David, I know who you are. Obviously, you're famous to me in our world, but would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, thanks, Paul. I'm David Knight. I own 3 stores in West Sussex, Budgen stores. One is Henfield, 6,000 square feet. Another one is Sussex, which is 5,000 square feet. And we've just opened a brand new store in Steyning, which is just under 3,000 square feet.
And all in Sussexy area, so a nice part of the world we're talking about here.
Yeah, all country villages, affluent villages. So it's pretty much where we like to rock up, where we think the Budgens brand sort of really works for us.
Good. So what's working in store? What sort of things are you going after? What makes the stores work?
I think for us traditionally, because we're slightly bigger stores, we're much more supermarket-y focused.
Yeah.
So we always say that we're food retailers first, and then the convenient stuff comes second. So we're big into fresh. Really important to us. All 3 of our stores have a 50% fresh sales mix.
Wow.
So we set our store out first and foremost on fresh, and that's really where we peg ourselves to Budgens as well, because we just feel that they're pretty good in that realm.
Yeah, I agree. They're very credible there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think essentially what we're about is we're trying to provide like really good food. So we try and pitch ourselves in the Waitrose area if we can. We try, and we back that up with loads of local premium. And we're blessed. We've got lots of rural farms, lots of lovely Sussex producers down where we are. So we're blessed really with location and customers that really buy into that concept.
So you're dealing with a lot of local suppliers as well?
We've got about 72 now running into Sussex and Henfield, and about 30 running into the new store extension. So yeah, quite a lot of SKUs as well, about 3,000 SKUs.
How do you manage that?
In truth, it's painful. We've created a lot of stock and order systems, automated ordering systems with the back office. But essentially, a lot of effort from our management teams in store. Lots of different lead times and ordering times, and it's hard work. We created a bit of a monster in truth, Paul.
That's why I asked. It seems like a lot, but the customers will reap the benefits of your hard work there, won't they?
Yeah, and I think we do a range review pretty much every 6 months now on local, just to make sure that we're not really wasting our time.
Are we talking customers? One of the things I read about quite a lot, I follow you on Facebook, I often see some activities outside the store. You've obviously got quite a lot of community activity happening. What can you share with us there?
Yeah, community has always been, it sort of works hand in hand with the local producers. So we've always sort of worked with the local producers and done a lot of tastings, a lot of events. So one of our famous ones is our sausage project, where we get the local sausage maker to go into the school with us. Yeah, and we get the schools involved, and they create their own sausage effectively. It's a bit of a competition, a bit of fun in the village. Works really well in Sussex. So we try and bring the supplier into the store and then into a project. So we do an apple juice project where the kids design a label for the apple juice. And all of that works. It just works really well. And we've got a bit of a name for ourselves for doing these sorts of things now. Unfortunately, last 2 years, it's been nigh on impossible to do any of this stuff, but we're just ramping up. We've got a food festival in our new store in Steyning this Saturday for the first time, a proper tasting event with, I think we've got 15 suppliers turning up all around the store. And it's the first time we've sort of felt like we're back in the realms of being able to do some of this stuff, because it's been really difficult, but the customers are really excited.
Well, it'll be appreciated, won't it? Definitely. And I came across this the other day as well. Let me see if I can get. There you go. That's yours, isn't it?
That's how unwrapped.
There you go. What's your thought? You're trying to be more sustainable?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of customer feedback sessions with the customers. Again, not so much over the pandemic, and we knew prior to this that plastic was a big issue. It was everywhere, wasn't it? So we'd paid a bit of lip service. We put brown bags in on the produce, the bakery sections, put biodegradable carriers in, and it was very clear people wanted us to do more. Yeah. And we'd seen this sustainable stuff and the bulk food, as we call it, and we tentatively put some of it into Sussex as our refurbishment in January.
Yeah.
And in truth, it's really surprised us. It's outperformed my expectations completely. It's a big capex, quite a big spend on equipment. Those scales and those hoppers aren't cheap. So I was looking at it thinking, this could be one of these white elephants that never pays back. But it actually, it's going to pay back within a year in investment.
I always look at it and think that looks like it could be a lot of work cleaning up afterwards. But who knows?
Once you train the customers, and we've learned this. So I just had horror. Sussex, the first store, has got 3 schools around it, and we get mobbed at 3 o'clock. And I could just see kids just hanging off of it, us sweeping up couscous off the floor on a regular basis. That hasn't happened.
Yeah.
What's interesting is the kids use it immensely. They get all the snacks out of it, all the Bombay.
I was going to say, we went to a cost cutter down, not a million miles away from you, but just into Kent.
Yeah.
It's in the refills. That was kind of like a pet project, but that was doing very well for them.
Well, in Steyning, we launched it, and we tweaked the range, put a bit more snacking in, and some confectionery on the advice of the zero waste consultant, and the confectionery lines just disappear. I mean, they just fly out. And pound for pound, generally, if you get the pricing right, you make it cheaper. So we made the cereal cheaper. So it's the cheapest cereal you can buy is from the bulk food. So I can
feels like the right thing to do, doesn't it? As well,
From an ethical point of view, if you need to make sure that you can stand it, because some of our customers will get the calculator out and work it out. They will do that. So that's really important.
We've all had a lot of time on our hands in lockdown.
Yeah, we were talking before. People have a lot of time. We see a lot of different customers in the stores now. And they clearly have time.
We talked also about staff, and looking after the staff has been important as well. Talk to me about this then. What's going on with these headsets? A couple of pictures here. He looks happy using his headset.
He's very happy, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, again, we'd seen it in the co-op, or a version of what we've bought. So we looked at it knowing that we were refitting Sussex. We have 5,000 square foot store with an old tannoy system, which is god awful. It was god awful, archaic. Everybody can hear everything. And we had a couple of ladies that liked to shout down the tannoy. We had a couple of staff that could whisper down the tannoy.
Yeah.
And also you're airing your dirty laundry and everywhere for the customers to hear.
Yeah.
So this was sort of we need to change the way we do things, and also we need to give a better sort of experience all round in the store. So went to Quail Digital and looked at their system, looked at a couple of other systems as well, but Quail for us was the one that stood out in terms of its simplicity, actually.
Right.
Really easy to install, really easy equipment. Even I managed to do some of the installation, which if anybody knows me, knows that's a testament to the product, because I can't do anything technical in the stores generally. And what it does is it just enables the team to communicate with each other. They tap their ear, a bit like what I've got in my ear now. They tap their ear, they can talk. Everyone else can hear that conversation as well. That's connected to the headsets. It's to say that it's revolutionised the business would be an understatement, because it's made our stores completely different the way we work. So
the staff like it. They're happy with it.
Loads of reservations. To be frank, all the team are like, "Oh, this is going to be awful. Don't want to use it. Don't want to touch it. Don't want to break it." And in fairness to Quail, they came and said, "Look, we've heard all of this before. Within a few days, you'll love it." They weren't wrong. Even the staff that were the most resistant now would never go back to the old tannoy system.
Right.
So effectively
old-fashioned, I bet.
Yeah, you now have a customer down an aisle that asks, "Do you stock X or do you have X?" It just goes over the headset. There could be someone in the warehouse. Actually, I'll just look for you now. Customers ask for things at the till.
Yeah. If you're asking for something a bit embarrassing now, it's not on the tannoy. Ideal.
Yeah. No, none of those calls anymore. Fantastic.
Brilliant stuff.
Code 18s for underage sales. It's just and the fact the management team are involved as well. And I was in Sussex the other evening, and I never connect generally because they won't let me. And they're just all talking. The team are just all talking. There's 6 of them on, and they're just all talking to each other and playing a face-up game, as they're facing up the store. Who can face up a meter quicker, and I'll let you know when it's done. And you realise that it actually, from a morale point of view, it's enhanced things more than I realised, because I was looking at productivity. I was looking at communication, security, staff safety. We've managed to shut down a lot of shoplifting on the back of this as well. An awful lot. Awesome. Because we just descend now. So they got the headset. Someone looks a little bit ropey. Suddenly you've got 15 staff there just stood watching someone, and they realise that you're all on the headsets, and it's fantastic. But I didn't anticipate the morale side of it, in terms of the fact that they can just all have a chat. So if somebody's upstairs picking stuff out of the warehouse,
you've got a lot of good stuff going on. And David, time goes very quick when we're doing this sort of stuff, but you've got so much going on. People do look to you to kind of see what you're doing. Have you got any kind of top tips for retailers out there? I'm putting you on the spot, obviously, but if you could give a couple of top tips, what would the things be that you'd pick?
I think one of the things we do, or I try to do, is go into the store once a week as a customer, or literally stand outside and ask some customers how you've done. Because I remember being, when you're an area manager in corporate, and that's my background, corporate retail. So you get store blind. We used to refer to it as being store blind, but you just don't see the stuff anymore. You walk past it. So I would just say, just stand outside, take the feedback, good and bad. There's plenty of bad, and face into the bad, and don't ignore it. If you're not doing local food, particularly now, with everything that's going on, go and find local. And even we've got a 50% fresh mix. Is easier for us, but our spirit sales are up 250%, being driven by local gin producers and local vodka producers. So even the traditional C store that's got a high BWS mix will find niches in range. So that would be my second one, is get local, and get local into the areas where you're strong. So if it's confectionery, if it's BWS, that's what you go for. I think traditionally, local seems to sit around fresh in people's minds and everyone gets really scared. But actually, it doesn't have to be. There's plenty. No,
you're right. And Sid and Kenilworth's got his Kenilworth chocolate, so you can search out local in most categories, I think. In
safe areas for you as well. Safe areas.
Yeah, absolutely. David, thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for your great tips. Thanks for sharing your story. We look forward to seeing you soon, and we'll get you on soon next time the next store opens, or there's a refit or anything like that. So, David, thank you so much.
Thanks, Paul.